Wow. Hello, everyone. Just as Jack secured the bumper to the car, the sky decided to rain heavily, as if saying, "Stop. You can't leave." After a quick rinse, Jack realized it was already dark. He got ready to bid farewell to everyone, either to stay. At this moment, the sound of the rain outside became more pronounced, and the kids turned into little water pipes, efficiently placing buckets under every leak, as if hosting a mini flood party. Jack inexplicably felt a pang in his heart. When Annie dropped him off at the door, he was gearing up to confess, but was interrupted by the kids' cheers. It was like a mini avalanche. Jack ultimately couldn't confess his identity to Annie. As he passed by the door, he parked the car on the side of the road and quietly slipped a yellow envelope into the mailbox, containing goods worth millions. It's the secret to getting rich. This money could keep the family worry-free for a day, but his mood was like a little girl's, pondering how to make his feelings lovely and beautiful. He thought he might come up with something useful, but his mind was a colourful mess, thoughts clashing like a bizarre carnival. His feelings were on a roller coaster. This cash could bring the family a carefree life, yet he didn't want to give it directly to Annie. What a man with a story. He couldn't get Annie the money personally due to little secrets, which might upset her like a mystery drama. 5 years ago, Jack met Anna's prince, a like-minded friend. They exchanged ideas, creating a result together, a peak collaboration. But before patent approval, Jack's friend died in a plane accident. He's here now, it's proved a time to show off. Seeing Anna's family's plight, Jack couldn't bring himself to tell the truth. He feared Anna's collapse like a dead phone. So he decided to subtly express his feelings with the envelope. That way he wouldn't have to witness the outcome. It felt like a no-face delivery. However, plans always lag behind changes. That night, wind and rain intensified, and the mailbox, like playing flying chess, was swept away by the wind. Before leaving the town, Jack felt uneasy and took a detour to check it out, fearing some unexpected trouble might occur. When Jack arrived, he saw the yard unrecognizable from wind and rain, roof pierced by branches, a little battlefield. Annie had already stepped outside, took the coffee from Jack, and suddenly realized, "Oh dear, are you okay? I can't just not go." Looking at Jack, she realized she almost missed his letter with the ghost letter fiasco. With yesterday's kindness as a foundation, when faced with Jack's goodwill again, Annie began to ease up. Glancing at the damaged roof, she had roughly calculated the repair would cost around $5,000. What a hefty price. This was his dream figure, but poor Jack couldn't scrape it together, harder than magic. By now, Jack really didn't want to tell her about the prize and the patent. He just worried that the journey to reveal himself would expose him as the Jack, in any scenario, did not utter a word about helping out for free or covering the costs of the repairs. He understood that an overabundance of kindness would merely cause the other party to harbor suspicions of ulterior motives. His plan was to help Annie repair the roof first to successfully navigate the immediate crisis, then return to the city to process the patent and issue the check. It was quite a revenge plan. With severe water pooling in the house, he quickly called his mother and decided to stay with her temporarily, like a moving company move. After Annie and the kids had eaten, her mother seriously asked her about Jack's identity, with her face full of disbelief, as if asking, "Where did you conjure him up from?" Annie understood her mother's concerns, dealing with questions while thinking, "Don't embarrass him, a gentleman's challenge." Mother didn't continue to persuade any further. After Anna's family had left, Jack started to work alone, searching everywhere for the required tools, truly resembling a house repair warrior. He moved furniture to the yard, cleaned the floor to prevent mold, like in a cleaning contest. However, clearing debris on the roof, Anna's admirer and her boss suddenly appeared, staging a standoff. For 3 years, the boss secretly cared for the family, but Tucker didn't understand her meaning of today, creating an awkward moment, a true clueless hero. Under questioning, he learned the real story. In front of the man who couldn't win her love, such a kind-hearted guy showed up, which made her tone turn sharp. Time cruelly passed, and Tucker didn't show up again, but Annie often called to check on the progress, almost like a mysterious agent. Their conversations became more frequent, evolving from initial thanks and comfort to later best friend-style greetings. It was an emotional, warming plan. There were many things Annie had buried deep in her heart, and she gradually opened up to Jack. As they got to know each other more, they became inseparable chat buddies. Feelings quietly bloomed during their chats, and within just a week, Jack not only fulfilled his promise, but also added some little surprises for the kids he turned into. The kids cheered, and Annie was very grateful. While tidying up with her daughters and mother, a boy asked curiously. Although she was young, she was well aware of the family struggles, thinking Jack was a banker sent to collect it, surreal little financier. Little did anyone know that gentle kiss would radically change Jack and his mother's lives, as if a wind of fate had blown through. Since the house was repaired, she had no reason to stay. Annie felt reluctant, but had no grounds to keep her becoming soft-hearted. Faced with her cash, Jack happily accepted it, his joy evident. He knew this family's life would undergo a complete transformation after he left. As he watched her wanting to confess everything, his heart felt like an unpopped balloon. At that moment, Anna's admirer Tucker called, inviting her to a small tavern tonight to celebrate the house's repairs, yet she felt immensely resist. After ending the call, Annie rejoined Jack and resumed talking, but was abruptly interrupted. With her mother nearby, he felt awkward. Jack, for whatever reason, couldn't get the words out to switch tracks. To change the subject, he suggested, maybe I could stay another day, what a temporary opportunity. It was clear from the brief exchanges that her mother valued Tucker, hinting at matchmaking, while Annie felt nothing for Tucker. What an awkward change. Thus she hoped Jack would stay an extra day. The family was invited to the tavern. At first, everything flowed smoothly, like a perfect gathering. However, when Tucker solemnly declared his liking for Annie, this scene felt like a bomb attack. Everyone in town knew this, yet Annie never declared it, showing her feelings through actions. Tucker was shocked by Jack's appearance. The kids exchanged glances, not expecting their mother to accept. They knew the insider scoop. The result was that Jack couldn't stop any of this from happening, and couldn't help but think to himself, this is the twist of fate. If you like this story, subscribe. More wonderful content awaits.